I'm gonna make a segment about this the minute it happens. Why should we add this to the list? So me and my chat were just watching a video about this lady who went to and spoke at a Nick Fuentes rally or Nick Fuentes event or whatever, and I said I wanted to add a segment to my list of segments that I need to do that I always show you guys, and I was going to call it The Soul of a Nation, an explanation on how a simple sentence like immigration will change who we are as a nation can be taken as white supremacy. And somebody said, can be, that shit is. And I was like, no, you gotta be nice. And I didn't want to go into it. No, it's Janice McGleechin. I think McGeechin. McGeechin, yeah. Janice McGeechin. And I said, I was gonna save this for like years down the road. Why the fuck don't we just do it now? I want to talk to you really quickly. Now, obviously, the reason why I wanted to wait on it is because I wanted to do research. She's running for governor of Idaho. She's she's the lieutenant governor. Yeah. She's a lieutenant governor right now. Oh, that makes the story even worse. That makes what I'm about to say even worse. So I wanted to do an entire nuanced research thing as such the day the YouTube killed the internet type shit. I wanted to do have a bunch of tabs up and really go through the facts and have a little script, a couple chapters. Why don't we just do a small intro to that now? There is a running line amongst conservatives that immigration somehow will cause the downfall of America. And I take umbrage with this statement for a couple of reasons. Most of these reasons have been said by much smarter people many times before. Most notably, for those of you who are on the fence about this issue, Martin Luther King Jr. Now, for that sake, I want to talk to you about how I feel about this statement, because proving it is done already. That's an easy Google search. I need you to take these facts to a conclusion. So instead of me repeating the facts to you, then giving you my conclusion, just go watch H Bomber Guy or somebody. They do great work. Shout out to H Bomber Guy. You really killed my passion for Deus Ex when you made that 3 hour, 33 minute, 33 second video. Because pain, bro. I wanted to play Deus Ex. It's on the list. It's on the list. It's what I like to do. It's on the list. And you took that away from me. Anyway, this running line bothers me because there is no way that you think that America is just filled with a certain type of people. You can't think that because you also run the line of 1350. So you have to admit that there are at least black people here. You have to at least admit that Spanish people exist because you love the Spanish restaurants and you love saying El Polo and can I get a taqueria and may I have some Saison? Saison? The things you love are mostly brought to you by different cultures that immigrate here. And you know this. So the identity of America can only be one of two things based on the fact that we can all agree that at some point or another, we bought something that was made or designed or thought of by a different culture that isn't American. America can only be one of two things: a hegemonic culture that isn't a melting pot, or a melting pot full of many cultures. So when you say we have open borders and you say that immigration will destroy the soul of this country, to what ends do you mean? To what theory do you speak of? Perhaps the change is coming at the idea of something else that you think is happening, which is known as my chat has already said, the Great Replacement. But we just agreed that that theory can't be real because what would white culture be? Why would you want that to be the dominant culture? You love black church, so it can't be the religion. You love all the restaurants and you love going out to spend days at festivals and celebrating holidays that aren't American holidays. So it can't be the traditions, it can't be the culture. What do you have left? What are you fighting for? What do you think is being fought against? What do you think you're losing? Is it just the simple majority? Are you taking me at face value and not thinking that this is serious? Because now we got a question to ask. Just what exactly do you view as a war against yourselves? Is it the idea of voter flushing, which is a really bad theory that says that the more immigrants that come in, the more likely they'll vote Democrat, which means they won't be the majority, so they'll just keep pushing the woke immigrant rhetoric to get more immigrants and more people of color to vote for them. But why do you think that is? Because I'm pretty sure the Latino and more specifically the Cuban population has an extreme bias towards conservatives, especially when there's money involved. So that can't be it, because that was a point that you made during the presidential debate. So that's not it. So if that's not it, then what are you getting replaced by? Is it the idea of interracial? That can't be it, because you're not racist. You love black people. You would have voted for Obama for a third term if you could. Wait a minute. So it's not the culture, it's not the identity. And we're a melting pot because you purchase and propagate other culture businesses. Could it possibly be that you don't like anybody but white people? Or maybe you're so used to that being the default that the idea that it won't be anymore bothers you because you use that to your, it's a benefit? You like it? So subscribing to the idea of any of these ideals would kind of be admitting that you at least somewhat agree with the idea of at least white nationalism, if not white supremacy, right? Because how could immigration lead to the downfall of the country? They're taking all the jobs. They're also getting paid way less than normal rate, and you know that because you definitely Googled at least one documentary in your life. And if you haven't, now's the time. You know that there are labor unions popping up all across the country arguing for better wages because they can't afford anything. And do you think that that practice is only being done by white people? If more white people wanted to unionize, wait a minute, that's how we got the unions in the first. Whoa. But that was like 80, 90 years ago. There's no way you forgot already. There are people still alive from that time. Betty White, rest in peace, just passed away. She was from that time. Nancy Pelosi was from that time. What are you talking about? So it can't be any of those things. So by saying something as simple as immigration could lead to the downfall of our country, why would I argue with you? It's just easier for me to call you a Nazi, a racist, a bigot. Because all I've done is keep it between white people, black people. I think I brought up Mexicans. I brought up Latinos. Fair enough. Oh, then I said the Cuban thing. Okay, that's why I split it up in my head. Okay, fair enough. I gotta give myself the right on that one. I gotta give myself the right to put that thought together. I brought up, like, for a half a second, trans people. And that was in the part of the segment that you didn't see. I didn't even mention no Asian people. Where my Filipinos at? I bet you Jamaican people. Where my Caribbeans at? You mean that this issue is so diverse that there's no way that you could hold this opinion unless you truly, truly believe that white people were the great race? Because even if you wouldn't say that, you at least believe some piece or part of it, right? Because that's how you got to that position. Oh, you didn't think this out. Oh, you're getting read like a book right now. Oh, it's a problem. Because if people aren't having their wages well represented in all sectors to the point where everybody's complaining about it, then it's not just a race issue. But who are the majority of the people complaining about it? The people who don't have the money. And who's less likely to get an inheritance when somebody dies? I mean, come on. It's systemic and prevalent. It's painful. No, you did not. It's miserable for you to exist within this confines, this thought. The great replacement theory. Okay, let me give you another theory. The Black Knight of execution. How about that one? Let's get real deep into it. Let me come up with a conspiracy theory that I could easily prove, but we're going to call it a conspiracy theory because I'm not big enough to make this actual discourse. There is a conspiracy theory that I've come up with that says that the militarized police force is next and only mission is to execute as many black people as possible for the upcoming 2024 and 2028 elections. Do you know why they're going to do that? They're going to try to target civil rights leaders. They're going to try to target random people in the street. They're going to put us in so much fear that when the legendary Reich finally rises and the Republicans take the presidency and the Senate and the House, they're just going to strip us of everything. And black people, black and brown people will be too afraid to do anything because they decided to go on a rampage. Crystal knock. That's real doomerism of you, Marquise. How dare you throw that in the middle of you trying to disprove white supremacy? Oh, wait. You mean the only time that enough people as a coalition that didn't really matter about race decided to speak up about black lives, we ended up with like more than 15,000 people in jail? We had extrajudicial murders that the president bragged about. Oh, wait, these things happened? We had a riot at the Capitol? Oh, these things happened? Oh, I'm trying to tell you, I guess you're trying to figure this out now. I guess you're getting it now, is that there's already a stage set for this idea. So it's not really a conspiracy theory. It's a matter of time because it is happening as we speak. And remember, I made that shit general. These are general cases. Eric Gardner was a general case. He lived in my city, but he's a general case. Breonna Taylor is a general case. George Floyd's a general case. These are Tamir, general cases. Philando Castile, general cases. This doesn't happen everywhere. It just happens prolifically at one time, every week, every day, every hour. What about the black people in jail getting beat up by COs? What happens if one of them die? Oh, that's not a news story because it ain't happened at a traffic stop where the person was perfectly in their rights to act the way that they wanted to act. Oh, it's worse than you think. You see how leaving out these pieces of information and then reconnecting them later helps you to build the identity I'm trying to get you to get here? I could give you the facts. I could give you the data. That's not hard. But like I just explained to you how the network of issues just keeps folding in on itself. How do you expect people to live under the constant scrutiny of an onion with 8 layers? Well, other people just live with an apple with 1 layer, and they're the little worm, and they poke their head out, and then go back in and chew more of the apple. Imagine being a black man and saying, I think I'm gay. Add everything I just said and then just add that one little thing. Imagine a nation full of people who have to deal with all of that and then want to address their sexuality. Oh, you black and you trans? GG's. That's hard. That's expert mode. That's critical mode. That's not even proud mode in Kingdom Hearts. That's critical mode. That's new game plus no items critical mode. But I don't speak on those issues because I got people. I went myself and looked for people. Shout out to Josie. I went and looked for people, and those people led me to other people. I don't have opinions on this. I want to hear from the people who live it. Well, welcome to the Great Replacement Theory and how it's bullshit. Because nobody wants to replace you. That's not happening. You can justify the idea of it happening. I gave you a bunch of tools you could use. But if you were to go there, then you would end up in that camp. And why would you want to end up in that camp? I thought you said you weren't racist. That's my time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, please do me a favor. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. I'm live on Twitch, baby. Come through to the party. I'm going to upload this the next day. So it's going on... Today's the 17th, so you'll see it the 18th. It's the top of the morning, top of the morning. I'm out of here.